Developing tonight for the second time in as many weeks, construction crews have uncovered human remains at a work site. This is on North Mallory Street in Hampton, and the medical examiner's office says just like the last remains found, these appear to be a member of a Native American tribe. 13 News Now reporter Megan Puryear spoke to the chief about the discovery.
Well, I got a call from the Department of Historic Resources probably a couple hours after they found the bones, the first set of bones. And because they were in a fetal position turned on their right side, that designates a woodland burial of an Indian.
Lee Lockamy is the chief of the Nansemond Indian tribe. He went out to the construction site today to see where the remains were found.
It's sad that they finally got dug up, but that's just the destructive path of man.
Police got a call about skeletal remains last week, but a second set of bones were discovered Thursday.
THR's two archaeologists went out and visited the site, confirmed two unmarked human burials, unexpected, that were discovered on the property.
Department of Historic Resources spokesman Randy Jones says they analyzed the remains and worked to figure out who potential descendants are. Hampton police say both sets appear to be of the Nansemond Indian tribe.
Archaeologists told me it was a female, an elderly female first on the first burial, and then I believe yesterday found a male interned on his side.
Jones says they're still analyzing the bones, but that this is pretty common.
I mean, we've had human occupation in Virginia going back 16,000 years, but you have prehistoric remains in tidewater. You have colonial remains in tidewater. It's not that uncommon to find remains unexpectedly.